Hello, fans. Welcome again to another episode of this podcast. And today, I just wanted to whisper something to my fans and to the Kenyan nation as a whole, and all and everyone who participates, who has a career in the political fields, people who have a life in politics, that is. I have, you see, we went to the parliament. We sat together, went to parliament and decided to destroy the old-fashioned laws in this country. Destroyed the laws that didn't have respect for humanity, the laws that people made blindly without knowing that we are humans, we have special needs, we have ways of communicating and responding to each other's speeches and words, spoken words. But these people didn't even think about it. Others who are from, they just didn't know anything. So we went to destroy these laws and brought back. And when we sat together in our parliament to discuss and pass these laws, we demonstrated on the streets, and we managed to get the attention of the president and the entire Kenyan government and all its leaders, and they accepted that we alter the law. So now we are trying, after altering the law, we decided on one thing, sir, that we decided that everything that happens in this country will be decided by the people themselves. Democracy, you see that? A democratic system of politics where things are decided by the majority of the vote. You see that? Be it anything. See that? The time of going to bed, the time of waking up in the morning, the time of going for lunch, the time of everything, the time of going to the shower, the time of doing everything in this country. It has to be decided by the people themselves. No one has the power to decide and put things whichever way he thinks that is good for him. So that he could be doing according to his own his own weaknesses. You see that he thinks he's seeing what's happening in this world, this country. It might be that is what we said, and we decided that in this country we will have democracy and no other forms of government. So now after putting everything in place, and then we have a federal government, so that, and everybody has to go back to their villages to live democratically and do and decide things according to their own ways of life, culture and tradition, according to how it was made by their own grandfathers into this universe. The universe will live and do like this. When it wants to marry, like this. When it wants to a funeral, like this. When it wants to bury, how to discuss where to take dead bodies, cremate, bury them, or throw it to the crocodiles in the waters, whichever way they wanted. It has to be decided democratically by the vote of the majority. So that's how it is, and that's what we decided. And now the Kenyan Parliament, was it a Senate? Yeah, the Kenyan Parliament, I can't remember well, but the Kenyan Parliament says that it is discussing something about ways of doing something about the country's democracy, to go and do a way of deciding for the political parties, or something to do with the political parties, showing them, telling them how to do. I just wanted to advise the country's political spheres, the politicians, to be careful not to touch again the people's democracy. What we went through during those times up to now, I don't want us to go back to dictatorship. I don't want us to go back to when people think they have a party. It is actually somebody's, a single man's tool to enable him or her to achieve whatever he wants in life, isn't it? Whether he is enough, he has the powers, the talent, or not. But if the party becomes the favorite of the people by the vote, it is the vote that will do what? Decide. You see that? But during those times, even the votes were twisted around. You see, everything was crude and twisted, and you vote tomorrow here, it is so and so in power. Things of that kind. You see that? So we are trying to bring democracy into this world. The way it was in the Garden of Eden. You see, when God created and made the first democracy in the Garden of Eden. You see that? That's how we want it to look like. I'm afraid these guys are going back, touching, employing, altering other things on the... You see that? I think if we were to do something about, again, how to decide what we want in this country and what we don't want, I think it should be some form of referendum and not some form of... You see that? Educate the entire country again. We want this, and this one, it's a campaign again until we accept. And then, you see, we put it in a good way. You see that thing we put there is the framework of life in this country. Now we are going again to alter. I'm afraid they might make an error. See that? They might make errors and try to whitewash the democracy again and turn it into a single man's tool to enable them to achieve their political dreams in this country, whether they are talented or not. See that? So that is how it is. And I'm very afraid again they are going there altering things or discussing how to do political parties. You see, things of that kind. Or they can put it on a different countries, a different department, a different government department to deal with it and educate the people in put. But going to vote for it, only the MPs to discuss it. I'm afraid it is bad to touch the political parties and the way they run their things. The department in charge of societies should be in charge and should deal with that and not... You see that? So I'm afraid my country can go back to Egypt, kind of bondage and suffering. You see that? I'm very, very much afraid these people can start altering the... The Democrats can start looking like a scarecrow. It looks like someone standing in a whip, but you see, it isn't. It doesn't have no powers. It doesn't do nothing. It is just a thing. They are just there to scare the what? The people, but the democracy doesn't exist. And I doesn't want. Let us just do that thing the way it is. Die the power, the finances to enable me to go and sit in the parliament and contribute on what is happening in parliament. I would have gone there to give my opinion and my comment and everything, and then do what? Listen to what the country would have told me. Otherwise, and I'm very scared going back to Tingle to play tampering with the democracy in that. The democracy, again, altering it in government. I'm afraid. And I'm very much against it. If we are to alter anything, then it has to happen that way. The government, the department in charge of societies and groupings should take charge of that and make sure that it has educated or it has run another campaign for another 30 years until we are well educated. See that? And then it can do what? It can I just want a list of laws in this country. Then we can do what? Continue like that. Otherwise, I'm afraid of the eras or where the country can go if it went back to what it used to look like in the past. You cannot even write a good news story. Someone has come to twist and dictate it around so that it fits and sings praises to the what? To the wrong people. You see that? You cannot displace evil in the community, in the society. You see that? You see that? And information was only available for those who had money. You see that? Other it was twisted around. You go and spend the whole day on a tiff and plucking. When you come back, you don't know nothing. You don't know just nothing. You go work and work and work and go back to the what? To your house. You go eat dinner and sleep. Tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, you are going to work again. What is happening in the parliament? What is happening about your own life? You don't know. When you earn money at the end of the month, is when you know, oh, the prices went a hike. The price of cooking oil is doubled. The reason why it happened like that, you don't have even a clue, an idea. We are economists. We are no longer bushmen. We are educated. We are scientists, financial scientists, financial engineers, commerce, trained commerce. See that? Trained entrepreneurs. We do all these things. We want to know what is happening about the coin everywhere, every time, everything that we touch. You see that? And you are going to twist us like cattle. You want to, hey, bend. Bow for the president. Bow for the what? Prime Minister. See that? That's how it is. And I'm very much against this idea of these guys going to discuss anything in parliament under tight schedules like this. Just people talking here. They don't even go and digest each other's what? Speeches. They just vote. That's my idea and that's my opinion, and that's how I would have wanted it to work, and that's exactly what I would have told the Kenyan parliament and the president. His Excellency the President, had I been given the what? The chance. So now I'm unable. I cannot travel to Nairobi. I don't have the time to go and sit to reach the State House. I don't have the time to go to, or even make a phone call, or even go to the, to sit with them in the parliament and tell them, of give my opinion to the speaker in the parliament. They are not even available. The customer care of the parliament is not even available to pass that. They don't even have a process through which someone can give an opinion like that to the government, to the parliament, to the speaker, and the Kenyan government at large. That is it. That is according to me. We are in a free country. If there's anyone who is against my opinion and ideas, you're welcome to speak. But that's it. Thank you for listening, fans. See you next time when I get something that will be whispering about, sharing what is happening about us and the political spheres of life on the globe. Thank you for listening and goodbye.